So as we go into Top Boy Season 4, Dushane is Top Boy, and he took no prisoners in getting to this position using Jamie's biggest weakness against him, even though this went against everything that Sully believed in, because even he knows there are certain boundaries you just don't cross in this game. But as we saw Dushane and Jamie involved in a deep game of chess, where Jamie may have won some battles, Dushane won the war, but not without consequences, because in this game, there will always be collateral damage.
Just because we didn't lose doesn't mean we won.
But Dushane was someone who was 36, with no woman, no kids, no money, and an empire which had crumbled, where Driss was left to hold it down in Summer House. He was here to tell Dushane that he doesn't answer to anyone, nor does he need permission to move weight. Now, he was also someone who took control over the ZTs, after Modi went inside, taking control from Leighton, and the battle for power and control eventually did leave Jamie with full control with Modi and Leighton both being killed.
I'm running the fucking fields, cuz.
Nah, you ain't.
Now, Dushane made a mistake because he was treating Jamie like he was just another kid. Because everybody in the game has their own story and destiny, and Jamie was someone who grew up with exceptional circumstances in more ways than one. And what makes Jamie scary, why he has zero tolerance, and why he should never have been underestimated by Dushane, is the fact that he had to be very mature for his age, and he's a lot more advanced than the average 18-19 year old. And what played a part in this is the fact that he's had to be a sole provider and protector for his brothers.
See me, I'm your father, yeah? I'm your mother, I'm your older brother.
Now, the fact that he's been playing the father, mother, and brother, he's got the heavy burden of trying to protect Stefan and Aaron, and there's nothing he wouldn't do to protect them, because he made a promise to his parents before they both died, and he was going to do everything in his power to keep them safe and provide for them. That includes supporting them with studies when it comes to Stefan, going to parents' evening, and making sure he was on the right path, but also that his teachers were treating Stefan with the respect that he demanded, because that's who Jamie is. He's someone who demands respect. But the same goes for Aaron with the advice that he gave to him when it came to his girlfriend Abby. But as well as showing this caring and parental side, he also had a double life where he wasn't afraid to do what he had to do to become Top Boy. But this also came with its consequences. Now, we saw him lay out the Turkish connects with the help of his loyal soldier Kid, so he could go and work for the Irish mob, which was Lizzie. Now, he also had Cam beat to death and threw him off a building for what he did to Tilly, and he even showed that he was willing to take the fight to Dushane and Summer House when he hit them directly with stabbings and acid attacks, which hit Dushane's organizations in more ways than one, because now his youngers were scared to shot his food, and this in return hit Dushane's business, which of course gave him issues with Sugar and Hayes. Now, what gave Jamie strength to become Top Boy, which were his brothers, could also be said to be his biggest weakness, because every man and woman in the world of Top Boy has some form of weakness, and that includes Dushane, with his weakness being in Jamaica, and that was Donovan. So as these two strong characters portrayed a hard outer shell and tough exterior, both had thumbscrews, and as principles from Law 33 from the 48 Laws of Power teaches us, once this weakness is revealed, it can be used to exploit your enemy by playing with their emotions. So with Dushane, he was strong-armed by Sugar and Hayes, and as his organization was hit and Sugar not getting his money, we saw how he used Donovan to play on Dushane's emotions, where he was eventually killed. And this tipped Dushane over the edge, where he took no prisoners on his route to becoming Top Boy. So we saw him taking Sugar out and Hayes without hesitation, and showing that he was just like Jamie. He would do everything that he could do to protect his family, but unfortunately for him, he did lose this battle because he couldn't save Donovan. But as Dushane had Lizzie, something which he wasn't expecting was for one of his own to betray him, and Driss betraying him, revealing his location to Jamie, left him with no connect, a lack of soldiers, and he came across a defeated look, because he knew that he was cornered. But this is where Dushane still showed that he had one play left up his sleeve, and he was willing to do anything to become Top Boy, even if Sully didn't agree with his ways. Because in this game, there are certain boundaries you just do not cross, boundaries which Sully wasn't prepared to cross, because Jamie's brothers, they weren't in the game, and this could have turned into a whole nother war. But Dushane wasn't prepared to lose his place to Jamie, so we saw him making a dirty, but a killer move, and that was with using Ats, who was Stefan's best friend, and striking Jamie at the center of his weakness, by having him plant a bag of guns inside Aaron's room after he got control over his CCTV, and he knew attacking Jamie's thumbscrew with his brothers being locked up, Jamie would take the fall, because this is the emotional principles which we went through with the 48 Laws of Power. So now we were watching him be the big brother and taking the fall, because that's what great leaders do, something which Monia explained to Drew in Power Book 2 Ghost. But with Jamie out of the way, Dushane returned to his place as Top Boy, and for some reason this wasn't enough for someone like Dushane, and that's because he had a bigger plan. He wanted Jamie to work for him. But is this a mistake from Dushane, and is he underestimating the man who's sitting in front of him again? because the boy who Dushane thought was sitting in front of him at the beginning of the season definitely showed he was a man, because he'd been making grown man decisions all season long. And is this why Dushane wants Jamie working for him? Because I'm sure he reminds Dushane of a younger version of himself, someone who's hungry and willing to build an organization. But Dushane is smart, and he knows in order for him to expand and get full control over the fields and the ZTs, he needs Jamie, because the ZTs wouldn't listen to Dushane. So with Jamie, not only does he get control over the ZTs and the fields, this allows Dushane to put a lot more distance between him and the streets. And this is what made Ghost so successful in power, because that's what he was. He was a ghost. He put so much distance between him and the streets that nobody could ever associate James St. Patrick as Ghost. But Dushane also knows that gang wars, history and beef is bad for business, and it is better to work together than against each other, because there is a lot of money to be made if you're able to put your differences to one side. But as we come into season 4, is this a mistake from Dushane? Because not only is Jamie ambitious, more importantly, Dushane used his younger brothers Stefan and Aaron to strong arm him, and this is something that Jamie will never forget. The way he involved his brothers will forever be in the back of Jamie's mind. So can we really expect Jamie and Dushane to work together harmoniously throughout season 4? I don't think so. Dushane and Jamie were involved in a deep game of chess in season 3, and no doubt they will be again, because Jamie just needs to bide his time, and he needs to use principles from Law 35 from the 48 Laws of Power, which is mastering the art of timing, along with concealing his intentions, because right now all Jamie can do is align himself with the right side, which is what we're gonna see him do, but not out of choice. But he can make it benefit him if he's still patient and waits for his right moment. And then when it's time to make his move, I'm sure we'll see him strike, because timing is definitely everything in your quest for power. But Dushane is someone who will have his head on a constant swivel, because I'm sure even he knows that he can't fully trust Jamie and will expect him to come for him at some point. So I do expect Dushane to be 3 moves ahead of Jamie. It's just a matter of whether Jamie can outfox the current top boy. But someone that can't go unspoken of when it comes to this quest for power is Sully, who really was one of the MVPs in season 3, and he'll have a big influence to play in this battle between Jamie and Dushane. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section and let me know what you think Dushane versus Jamie will bring in season 4, as well as any other season 4 predictions and theories. Drop all your comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Top Boy and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.